what does it mean for them going forward? What does it mean for them this weekend? Over at FanDuel Sportsbook, guys, nothing has changed. The odds haven't changed. I asked them this morning. I asked the overlords over at FanDuel. Nothing has changed from at least what it looks like up against what looks like is going to be our guy Daniel Jones and company. Josh will return to New England, one person says. I don't know about that, but you know who might know about that? Mr. Rob Gronkowski. Gronk, welcome to the show. We got news. Unfortunately, it's coaching firing news. It's never that fun.
Yeah, no, it's never fun to hear that, but it's a business. The NFL is a strict business, to tell you the truth. If you're not winning, you're going to be out. It goes with a NFL head coach. It goes with assistant coaches. It goes with position coaches. It goes with the players as well that are performing out on the field. If you're not performing, if you're not up to par, they're going to move on to the next situation. That's just how that nature of the NFL is. It's never good to see that part of the nature, but that's also how competitive the NFL is as well. And it keeps every team on their toes, and it keeps every team firing, and it puts the best product on the field as well, I feel like.
You have a lot of connective tissue to that Raiders team because there's a lot of former Patriots on there. McDaniels, they took a lot of guys over. Hoyer, there's a long list. What can you tell me about what you knew was going on in that locker room, what you were seeing on the field?
I don't really know much that's going on with the Raiders. I'm not really in that much contact with any of the players that I played with that are on the current roster for the Raiders right now. But I thought they were going to definitely have a better year this year and build off from last year. They went into the offseason. They put the pieces together that they needed to. They went and got the quarterback, Jimmy, who's been under this system for quite some time now, since his rookie year, and very familiar with Josh McDaniels as well. A couple other players that are very familiar with Josh McDaniels and his system. So it's kind of a lot of guys that know how to win, and then adding other players like Devontae Adams. They got a pretty solid defense with a couple, with Max Crosby leading the way, who's an absolute stud. I love watching that guy play. He plays lights out with his heart. He's definitely a main focal piece that will never leave. You don't ever want that guy to leave your organization. So it's very surprising to me to see this situation, but I would definitely say it starts at the top with the head coach. I mean, it's a trickle-down effect. Mark Davis wants to win. He'll do anything to win. I'm not sure if he's doing it the right way or if he just keeps missing, with the head coaches. I'm not sure. I know he wants to win. He says it. You can tell he wants to win. So he's moving on. Instead of starting all over again with, all the type of players you're bringing in, he's just starting over from the very top.
You were with McDaniels in New England from 2012, I believe, to 2018, a long time. And just the surprise, I mean, the results weren't there on the field, but you also, what happened with the Broncos when he got then there's this whole, we're going to have to get into this, the whole Belichick, the tree and how it doesn't work and everybody. What is it about McDaniels that makes it hard for him to have success as a head coach?
I would say, well, first off, unbelievable offensive coordinator, knows his football inside and out, knows his offensive scheme inside and out. There is no doubt about that, but that does not mean it's going to translate into being a great head coach. And I would just say this, that sometimes once in a while I saw it that he kind of rubs guys with his style and his demeanor the wrong way. And that might have carried into being a head coach at both situations with the Broncos and now with the Raiders. So just the demeanor that he has might not be working as a head coach.
But is it the kind of thing where, because Bill Belichick has that demeanor. It's known, we see it, you talked about it. It's we joke about it. But he's got that. He was the head coach of championship winning teams. Whereas Josh has the pedigree, he has the rings as a coordinator, but not as a head. What are the qualities that he either doesn't have, or if you're comfortable saying that he does have, that don't translate into that head coach position that makes him a strong ass offensive coordinator, but not the best, potentially at leading a team?
I mean, he did a great job when I was in New England.
Yeah.
We won a couple of Super Bowls with him. I'm not there, so it's really hard to tell when you're not there. I'm not there when he was with the Denver Broncos, and now currently I'm not there while he was just with the Raiders. I would say his demeanor and style definitely worked under Coach Belichick while he was the offensive coordinator. He definitely got the attention of all the players. He got the details of what everyone needed to do. But, it wasn't we're going out there to play for Coach McDaniels. We're going out there to play for the organization. They'll go play for Coach Belichick, who's leading the way. So it's a tough situation when you're not there. So I don't fully understand what's going on. But he's just, in my case, what I'm seeing, he's not riling up the players to play to their best of their potential. And that's a struggle right there if you're not getting that done.
Team that you'd bet money on to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, you don't want to always bet the favorites because then you don't win too much. So I feel like the Dallas Cowboys, they have pretty good odds to win some money if they win it all.
Make the case for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, they added Brandon Cooks at the wide receiver position. Super fast player. He can go downfield. He'll be a great complement to CeeDee Lamb. And also they added Stephon Gilmore, who we were talking about earlier. He was Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago, and I think he's gonna make a great comeback this year and play at a high level. Not a lot of people like Brian McCarthy that much. They kept him, though, this year. Everyone was talking about firing him, but obviously Jerry Jones believes in him.
Got a ring,
They added the players that they needed to add. They have a strong roster. Micah Parsons, that guy's an animal. I like his attitude. I like the way he's leading the team as well. You know, he talks about it and he shows up. You know, he backs his mouth, which is unbelievable to see that. That means the guy he's strong and he has passion.
Okay, is he here? Where we got? Who do we got?
I mean, it's a half a shot last night. I mean, what are we doing? I thought we're getting ready for the LA Gronk Bowl. We need 8 shots deep for the national anthem. I mean, what's going on, Rob?
Bubs, what's up, my boy? How you doing? I was actually with our other guy, Amendola, last night because we're kind of like the Three Musketeers. And let me tell you, he loved my comment. Me and Julian were on your podcast however long ago. And that comment, man, had me rolling on the ground laughing when you asked me, how does Dola become a good coach? And I say, he's got to get fat. And let me tell you, he's not doing it. He started doing push-ups in front of me last night.
What about his post that he sent to us on Instagram of he's got a silhouette of him squatting outside in front of the facility? Bro, turn the page. Dola, we have to turn the page. You're not playing no more. Okay, get up in the studio, do something. I'm in games with names. Gronk's over here on FanDuel. Like, let's go. Turn the page.
I 100% agree. He's still living it like he's a player. He's gonna wait. They have a game tonight. He's gonna post on his Instagram story like he's going out there and he's playing and he's gonna be scoring touchdowns.
I hope he does.
Jules,
I hope they do. Let's go Raiders. We want that.
Can somebody text Coach Dola to find out who the starting quarterback is tonight because we don't know who it is? Can you do that for me, Jules, please?
Yeah, he'll go on like he won't tell me anything.
Oh, really?
He won't tell me anything.
Probably not. Won't. Yeah, he really won't.
When it comes to football,
totally different. He'll bring up something totally different.
Now that we're in the media, like, because, you know, like, first off, we don't ask unless they want to tell. You know what I mean? It's not an asking kind of thing when you have people that are associated with your with that are still in the game or of some sort of some kind of way. So I never ask, but there are people like when we talk, they want to tell. So we don't do that.
Yeah. Julian, it's been really interesting to watch Rob enter the world of media and obviously what he does on Fox, and now you're there. And Gronk still has like that Belichickian, Stacey James sort of like, I don't want to answer, I don't want to whatever, and watching him navigate that. I remember a time in New England where, like, you know, there was it's the locker room versus the media. What's that been like for you, and what's it been like to work with Gronk on Sundays?
I mean, it's been amazing because, you know, we haven't got to work together in, you know, probably 4 years. You know, they went to Tampa and you kind of have your everyday life, and we spent so many years together, 9 years together. So you know people, you get to know people, and you know we kind of separated, and we haven't been around it. And now this new Fox gig where we're both in a facility at the same time in a workplace environment, it gives us kind of that old, you know, feng shui that we used to have, and you know, just being able to catch up, talk about off the field or off the air stuff. Like, it's just been really fun and familiar because, you know, it's something that, you know, I was so accustomed to seeing, you know, jolly old Gronk in the facility. Like, now it's, you know, I see him in the dressing room or at, you know, in a production meeting, and it gives us that same kind of feel. So it's been awesome.
Julian, what we got to do after a long day at Fox, just to really replicate the locker room, we got to have a shower together. You and I, after we're done.
Grog, they have individual showers, okay?